What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the Real Bodybuilding Podcast, and I am solo today. I just want to cover one quick thing, actually two quick things. First, I want to cover Sam because I keep getting a ton of DMs from people asking me how I feel about it, and I don't know if they expect me to be angry or what, but listen, I think it's great. For those of you who don't know, Sam was with Hostile for a year. Sam left Hostile to pursue his own company and his own dreams. We left on good terms. And I root for the kid daily. Like I'm happy. Like when I saw him compete, first of all, I was really happy. I was really happy to just that he decided to compete because, you can't put in that kind of work and just kind of you can. I mean, you can put in that kind of work and just waste it or just have fun with it, whatever. But it was nice to see him put in that kind of work and then get on stage and test himself. And he is a bodybuilder or classic physique competitor, and he did do a show. So we're going to take a look at his physique, and I'm going to give you guys a breakdown of what I think he needs to do or doesn't need to do. So, is he a phenom? Let's start there, because everybody says he's a phenom, this and that. Now, I will say I'm not going to give him the label of phenom because if he's 23, I've seen other pros progress faster. Whether it was like Ian Valliere turned pro at 22, and he was bigger and maybe more conditioned than this. So is he a phenom, like out the box, going to destroy everybody? No. Does he have the lines to potentially be incredible? Yes. In my opinion, yes. And I'm going to tell you guys why. So the first thing is muscle development is very good at this age. Like you see, everything is, he's done a good job of, some young guys, when you see them come up, maybe they have front delts, maybe they have side delts. They don't have the rear delt. So he's done a good job of like developing each muscle the way it needs to be developed. The hamstring is pretty balanced in comparison to the quad. And as you go through the poses, you see like the chest development is very good. I have heard some people say his back development's bad. Those people don't know how to assess a physique. When he turns around, I'm going to show you guys the back development. You see this line right here? This is his lat. It sinks in right here into his hip. And he's actually developed it pretty thickly through here. The problem is when he poses, he lifts his shoulders up and that stretches out the lat. So if you don't know how to assess a physique, you say he's got a weak back. But he does it because as you see here, this is all muscle that he has built that is feathered, which also means he's in incredible condition. And as you go through the pose, and now he's learned, somebody told him from like last week when I was looking at his poses, his shoulder girdle is tilted down, making his back look thicker. Now, this pose still isn't perfect. He's going to go through many iterations of it before he perfects it, but his back does have good development. It is proportionate to the rest of his body. Actually, you can tell he's done some heavy work here. His erectors are thick. So you can tell he's done some heavy work. Like he doesn't fuck around in the gym. The one thing I will nitpick, though, is you see how small his glutes are? And I know you guys think, well, who wants big glutes? You don't want big glutes, but you want proportionate glutes. His glutes are very small. And I believe, I know he does squat, but I also do know from being around him for a little while that he does a lot of isolation stuff. And I think when you do a lot of isolation stuff, you develop legs. Like he's got good hamstrings. He hasn't learned to flex them properly yet because I know they're more stripped out than this. See there, he flexed it and you can see more detail. And you see his quad and he's got good quads, good teardrops. Lateralis is pretty good. Medial head is good. But the glute does not match this level of development of the quad. So he's going to have to develop the glutes a little bit so they don't look droopy and saggy back there. Ab development is great. The only thing I think he may suffer with, and this is really going to depend on how he builds his physique moving forward. If he starts to try to refine the physique a little bit and not lift like a bodybuilder, I think he'll be fine. I think if he continues to lift like a bodybuilder, I don't know how far he'll go in classic. And the reason I say that, if we pull this back to the front, what you do see here, and I recognize it right away because it's something I dealt with when I first came up, is he's got a great midsection. He's got very aesthetically pleasing abs, but his obliques here, and you'll see when he turns to the front, His obliques are a little bit thicker. That's probably from the heavy lifting. It might be genetic, whatever it might be. But you see that that oblique is a little bit thicker now. It's not bad. It hasn't. It's not like it's not. It doesn't belong on his physique, and it's not like it's hurting him right now. But if it continues to grow at the rate it's going, he's going to end up with a little bit wider waist than you should have in classic. Not that it's going to be wide and make his physique look ugly, because I don't think that's going to happen to him. But for classic, you really want to emphasize that V taper. And what I see here is a square, right? We see a rectangle here, and we don't want to see a rectangle. We want to see a V taper. So these obliques being a little bit thicker is throwing off that V taper a little bit. So as he develops, he's going to have to grow out that vastus lateralis out here, the sweep of the quad. He's going to have to keep developing that lat, developing the delt, and developing the arms to create the illusion of more of a V taper, more thickness across the top, more of a V taper in the middle, and then also sweeping out the bottom into the quad. So this is something, if he's listening or if anybody's advising him, they would advise him to be careful that this does not develop at the same rate as everything else, or else he's going to end up with a rectangle physique, which is not going to be helpful in the upper echelons of classic. But that's it. That's my breakdown. I think he's great. I think conditioning wise, he's fucking awesome. I think he's probably a little bit on the flat side. Like, it doesn't look like he peaked totally well, but I think he coached himself. And if he did, this is a lot better than 95%. I promote shows. So I promote a level 1 show. I see what level 1 competitors look like. This is more muscularly developed and more conditioned and more symmetrical than probably 90 to 95% of the competitors I see come through a level 1 show. So Sam, for all the hate he has received for eating cereal and eating deli meat and training like shit and all that, all of you people saying that stuff need to give it a rest, because you probably all did it when you were starting out, and you also need to give it a rest because he just won his first show. And even though he's not perfect, that still says something. He won your first show. He's going on to the Arnold's. Who knows how he's going to do the Arnold's? If he gets his pro card, that's going to shut a lot of fucking people up. Hey, Sam, honestly, if he gets his pro card, I don't know if he'll jump right into a show. Probably not. But, there's Pittsburgh around the corner. That's not far from his house. There's a bunch of shows he could do maybe Toronto was a small show. He could do Detroit. He could do any number of shows if he gets his pro card. I don't know if he'll get his pro card at the Arnold. It is definitely going to be a harder show for him than the one he just did. And he does have some growing and some development to do, and some more so than anything posing work. The thing I think a lot of people don't realize is posing can really, really accentuate your physique, or it can really, really hurt your physique. So I think if he can get his peak right, be a little bit more full on stage, and somebody can show him some of the finer points of posing over the course of the next month, he could win the Arnold. And then, all you people that are running your mouth about, Sam did this and Sam did that, what are you going to say? Did his first 2 shows and got his pro card, and then, there's got to be something said for results. You can complain about the cereal, you can complain about the milk, you can complain about the fucking deli meat, you can complain about the sloppy training, but there's something to be said for results. If he's developed his physique, his conditioning is fucking great, and he wins a show and then wins his pro card, there's something to be said for results over that textbook perfect form that you guys are all chasing, or textbook perfect, whatever it is you guys are all chasing. He's doing it his way. And to me, that's respectable. So that's my thoughts on Sam. Congratulations, buddy. I'm happy for you. I hope you crush the fucking Arnold and keep on your upward trajectory. Now, the second thing I want to talk to you guys about, the Fantasy League predictions page, rate your physique, rate your form, the entire website with the consultations also available for you guys. The entire website is going to go live Tuesday at noon. I believe that's February 18th. That way you guys can have a week to lock in your picks, or just about a week to lock in your picks for the Arnold, and get your fantasy league all built out. Now, throughout the year, if you miss the start of the fantasy league, don't sweat it. You can still join throughout the rest of the year. You're obviously going to be behind on points for the final grand prize at the end of the year, but we're going to be doing monthly prizes. So if you decide to join in like January, if you decide to join in like July, it's fine. You can still win all of the points and all of the shows in July and win a prize at the end of that month. Same thing, August, September, October, whatever. Listen, for all of you that have questions and all of you that want to join, I'm going to play a demo in the next video that pops up on my YouTube. There'll be Pierce, who developed the software, is going to walk you guys through the entire website and show you guys everything that is available and some of the rules and regulations and all that, so you guys can understand exactly what you're getting into when you get onto the website. So anyway, that's my thoughts on Sam. That's the Fantasy League. Check out the next video for that. And thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys soon.